February 28, 2023, welcome. We're going to talk about doing some business today. I'm so glad to have a big crowd on board. Welcome to all of you. If you're anywhere close to eastern North Carolina, we're all probably enjoying a lot of sunshine today. And I hope the PowerPoint is working for you and the audio is okay. Last time we were on board, I had the audio go out on us, so if it starts getting funky and you can't hear me, raise your hand and let us know, and we'll just turn the PowerPoint off and go forward with just video. I'm Steve Carver, talking to you from my home office in Dunn, North Carolina. I'm not a lawyer or a tax accountant, just a fellow that's been in business a lot of years and glad to share information with you. First piece of information is always get a second and third opinion before you make a decision that's affecting your financial security or your business. And a good place to get that information is from your small business centers at your community college. And the absolute very best one in the whole United States is sponsoring us today. That would be Mr. Greg Hannibal down at Kinston, downtown Kinston. Got a beautiful office there. Great place to go have a meeting. So if you'd like to set up an appointment with him, please give him a call. Here's Mr. Hannibal right here. Been working with him for a number of years and never disappointed, never ever. He has one request. Usually that's when he sends you an email asking for a survey after the webinar. Please fill it out. He needs those to come back to help him with his records, to help us keep getting money for the program. It'll help me as well. So please fill out that evaluation and send it back to him when it comes to you in email. Today we're talking about cash flow. Normally in our series of our Academy series, I include financing and funding and borrowing money and documents in the cash flow presentation, and that's reflected in your handout there listed 1031. You've also got a handout with the 40 drill skills and some tips on borrowing. Actually today I'm going to divert from the handout a little bit. I fixed up a special series that strictly was all about sales, cash flow, and the things you can do to jumpstart things for the spring. So if you want a different study guide on the actual off the actual PowerPoint, I'll be able to send you a couple of more notes. You can just ask for it if you need it. But it's pretty much everything is self-explanatory. So if you want to make notes there on your pad or on the other handout, I think it'll be make sense to you because everything ties together. My job is to smile and be happy and help motivate folks that are maybe down a little bit or trying to get started, just hadn't figured out to do it. So I don't do my best to do my job today. And I want your job to be to find the endurance, to find the intestinal fortitude, to stay with it, because in entrepreneurship, staying in the game is the winner. Seeing it to the finish line is the winner. Cash flow, constant cash flow in business can really result down to one or two things that are very important. So I want to mention this to you, that you want to offer products and services that people want and that people really need. The ones that people really need will keep them coming back to you day after day, month after month, year after year. So looking at what you have, you'll have things that people really need. Look over what you're offering in your product line and seeing if you need to add some things that are more than just, I wish I had this or I wish I had that. So I'll mention to you that sometimes you might be selling jewelry, or you might be selling a challenge coin like Vanessa does, or you might have a wreath, or maybe something in your mind you said, you know, nobody really needs this thing. But here's a wrinkle I want you to remember. Even if you've got something that you don't think people really need and they just want from time to time, here's a fact. Maybe what you have they don't really need is an excellent gift that they can give to someone else. And folks really need to find places quickly and affordable that they can buy a gift for someone and have it shipped to them or pick it up. So instead of just offering your product as something to buy, as if it's something that somebody might want, you might want to set up some web pages for and use your DBAs to call them gifts for people. such as just brainstorming with Vanessa earlier, we might have a web page that says gift for Jeep owners, or gifts for four-wheelers, or gifts for people that go to mud rides and things like that. Gifts for people with horse trailers, so that different places they might go. So think about that. Even though your product may not be something that's a necessity in life, like milk or orange juice or eggs, it may be something that is one of those gifts that people would really want to buy when they need to find a gift for someone. Very basics. If you're wanting to get started, and it looks like, and I'm so glad to see some new folks on board. Nisi, good to have you here. Don't see the name there. Miss Hubbard, Janice, glad to have you on board. And Kathleen, welcome back. And Melanie, y'all might want to make some notes. Siobhan, make some notes as we go here. 3 things that are the best ways to help customers find you, the best way that you can connect. Number 1 is think about who is the low-hanging fruit. Who are the customers? What customer groups can you reach out to very easily with a low amount of advertising or marketing effort and start getting some business from? How do you create good cash flow in a hurry? You find customers that are probably going to have a good chance of doing business with you. I like to call them the low-hanging fruit. That relates to the conversation that we were just having with Vanessa about picking out target groups of folks that would probably like to buy some of your products. After you pick that group out, let's determine the best way that you can get in touch with them. There's a lot of different marketing tools that we can use, 50, 60 different individual tools. However, for each individual group, there's probably a better way to contact them. So I don't take this to the nth degree. Let's say that you were trying to contact folks that were into four-wheelers or recreational things like that. Then a good place for you to aim at would be go to those places that offer that, the actual event sites. Look at their websites, look at their Facebook pages, and start adding your ads in comments at their Facebook pages, because their readers will read them up right there. And so you can that's called guerrilla marketing. Take your product right to the source where the customers are, and you'll have a good chance to start creating some good dialect with possible customers. Then you do what it takes to help them find you. And helping them find you is all about how you do your signage, how you set up your web pages, and the SEO that you use on your web page and your marketing efforts. It's one thing to tell about your product. It's something else to put a hook in it, to encourage them to come on, let's do some business now. But if you don't lead them and direct them to your website or to your telephone number or your office, then you're just not going to get the job done. And it's very, very important that you look after these 3 factors. Now I'm going to look at 10 ways to help create positive cash flow first. Very simple ways, defining them very, very plainly. And then after we do that, we're going to look at 10 tools that you might be using to make it happen. So I'll give you a double shot of love today to help you create some sales. Number 1, none of this is going to be rocket science. It all starts with you. It starts with me. Every day when I walk out here in my office and turn the lights on and look at my email that's come up, it's all about my attitude and how much energy I've got and how excited I am to go forward. If you got a low degree of excitement and energy, I will guarantee you'll have a low degree of success in your day's work. So we really have to find ways to build up our self-esteem and enthusiasm, and know that you're getting the training and you are a good leader and a good presentator, and practice it with your videos. We need all the enthusiasm we can muster to help motivate our customers to buy with us. When you are really enthusiastic and happy and glad to have the opportunity to be in America and doing business, by golly, nothing can stop you. It all starts with you. We have to kind of recharge and reload every day and at least every month. So if you're not taking an inventory of what you're doing this month and last month and comparing them and coming up with how to start a new beginning or a new start or a mindset, creating a new focus, new intentions to have new results. What's the old saying? If you don't do something different tomorrow that you did today, you're going to have the same results tomorrow. And it's not easy. I know that. I know it's so true. So join me. Join my club of every day trying to look at it with a new focus and a reload. It makes a world of difference in my mind, and you'll start seeing it make a difference in yours. What might be something new that you start doing? We're going to talk about those in a little while. But one of the things that you can start doing, and you're already doing it today, you've decided to dedicate some time to get some training in here to see how you can move that sales mark even higher. And so welcome on board. I'm proud of you. You are awesome. You're studying. You're trying to do the best. I tell folks every week how glad I am to work with folks who want to be here. I don't know how good it would be to be a school teacher and have a classroom of students who don't want to be here. But so I am pleased that y'all are, and I know that you're able to click me off and leave anytime you want to, and I can't do a thing about it. So you've got that power. So you know what that makes? That makes you the most important and the most powerful person in the room. I'm just here to serve you, and I appreciate Greg letting me do it. Number 2, accept the fact that maybe you and your staff need to have some additional professional training in certain skills. Maybe just speech, making videos, how to close a deal, how to work with your staff. And if you're delegating part of your work to other people to do for you, which as your business grows, you'll have to do that, then you're going to want to choose the right folks. You're going to want to try to feel out folks that you're talking back and forth with and determine if it seems like they, number 1, have the right attitude. Number 2, seem to have their mess together so they're organized and able to get it done. And 3, that they know how to close deals. They know how to motivate people. And oftentimes in the folks come into my classes, y'all are maybe just getting started in business and just aren't used to I'll use the word pressuring people to do something. But you know, we just have to do that. That's called being assertive, and we have to do that. So the second most important thing you want to do is in that mindset, is to accept the challenges, to go ahead and get the skills you need to make it happen, get the training that you need. Now, in our, I'll mention this because it's effective. Tomorrow night and Thursday night, I'll be giving webinars on how to close sales in addition to other things. So negotiating and closing sales are really important. So if you're available at 6 to 8 tomorrow night or Thursday night, you're welcome to join. Be the same login information we have here. Now, on the screen here is training needed, how to close sales. But here's the one that probably most of us are not doing what we could to see our sales increase immediately. And I mean immediately, because if you can have up sales, you can have a lot more business with the same number of customers. And this has to be planned out in advance so that you have the profit centers that you can say to your customer, and by the way, we also do this and this and this. Every time you have a chance to make a sale, have something in your mind that you can say, and by the way, we offer this, this, and this, and you will be absolutely amazed with how many people will take you up on that. A few years ago, over in Kenansville, we had a couple that has a pet grooming business in Beulahville and Pink Hill. And they came to my seminars and were listening to all that, and I was talking to them about how to promote by the way up sales. And they came back a week later and said, Mr. Steve, we actually did that this past week, and we'd like to give you a report on it. I said, all right. They said, this past week, we put, and by the way, we positioned and merchandised our little pet stuff around the store so that when somebody bought one thing, we were able to say to them, and by the way, would you be interested in this? And the results were, and they had tears in the eyes when they told me this, and it kind of gives me tears now, that they had 99 sales that week, 99 tickets, retail sales. And on every one of them, they had our stickers up there to say, and by the way, on every one of them, they had mentioned something, an upsell factor they had to each customer. And they reported that out of those 99 customers, that 93 of them, listen to this, 93 out of 99 actually bought the second and third product. Yeah, isn't that tremendous? Now, they must have been really good at this, and we had a good selection of upsell items. But to take those kind of numbers in the first week that you're trying it and see your sales almost triple, and therefore your profits more than triple because you didn't have to call on more customers or do more advertising in a 1 week's time, by golly, that is a testament to success. So right now, put a tattoo on your plate, on your arm somewhere that says, and by the way, and start figuring out a way that you can have upsells. It works for me every single day. I closed a deal yesterday with a gentleman in the state of Washington. Now, he called me up to buy a hay baler, but he ended up buying a hay baler, a hay rake, a hay tedder, and a hay mower. In other words, we sold him 5 different items when he called up to buy one item, and the profits were better on the other items than there were the hay baler because I was using the baler as the profit center number 1 to bring in new traffic. Holy moly, it happened to work that time. So you don't always get it right, but when you do get it right, pat yourself on the head. Pat yourself on the head. Yeah, because it just can change the whole world of things that you're doing. And Kenny, I've been thinking about you and your trucking business and so excited that I can just see you got things going on in your head about how to offer different things and different services so that when a customer gives you a job to haul this, you can automatically say to them, yeah, and by the way, we can also do this. That's when you start moving your entrepreneurial company ahead and finding sustainability. You got to make people changes sometime. So if what you're doing is not working with either the people that you're working with or with yourself, start making some changes. Maybe it's time to change your dress. Maybe it's time to look more professional. Maybe it's time to present yourself in a better way. And always, when you're out in the public, in a public setting, wear name tags. When you're leaving, wear name tags because people will talk to you and be able to call your name about 90% more often than if they don't know your name. I know in restaurants all the time. I wish the wait staff would have to wear name tags. The ones that do, I talk to them, kind of create a relationship, learn what I can from them, and usually leave them a better tip. So if you're in a position in your work where you're traveling or out in the public and presenting yourself, it's a good idea always to wear a name tag. Now, they've got these name tags. You can order them at Amazon or from your office supply store. They got magnets on the back of them, so you can put it right up here with a magnet. It doesn't put holes in your clothes and such as that, but it really can give you a good heads up when you want to meet new people and talk business. As sad as it is, I have to say that I see a lot of businesses that are operating so poorly because they are involved in family situations that just aren't good business. Just because someone, maybe your son or your daughter or your daddy or your mama or my mama or daddy or uncle or aunt, doesn't mean they are the right people for the right place. And oftentimes we'll ask somebody to do a task or to represent us when they just aren't the right choice. And I know you're trying to do the right thing and provide an income for people you love, but maybe maybe you're better off that they work for someone else, or you find a job where they can actually be profitable for you. So many family businesses make no money or very little money because they're trying to feed the family instead of putting some people on board that will help feed the business. So anytime you have someone that's operating less than par, it's not doing a thing for the morale or for the staff, and setting high standards are the hardest to achieve, maintaining the high standards when you're trying to ask your kinfolk to do it. They just it's a difficult situation. So I'm just putting it out here, like how to say, just saying, maybe you need to take a hard look at that. Maybe you do. Find someone that makes it happen. Maybe if you've got your website turned over to your daughter or to your daddy or someone that's saying they're doing a good job for you, but you know in your heart they're not, then be willing to make a change. If you're going to get a return on investment in this business world, guess what? You have to make an investment. So sometimes cheap is not the best way to go. Number 4, how do you jumpstart sales? How do you increase cash flow right away? Well, to promote the items that we've talked about up to now, and to make it work, to sell yourself, you've got to have the self-esteem and self-confidence to convince your customer to do business with you, because there's going to be peaks and valleys. And the only thing that's going to get us through with those peaks and valleys is a lot of enthusiasm and self-esteem and self-confidence. Now, where do you find that? You're new in the game and you don't quite know how to do it. Where do you find that? You study, you practice your introductions, you practice making your video introductions, you make a list of frequently asked questions, so when you do have a chance to talk to the customer, when it's time to close the deal, you're there and you're prepared with a tool belt of good business skills to make it happen. You see, it's all kind of coming back to me and you, isn't it? There's not any magic wands that we can wave to instantly change things. But we're not, this afternoon, if you've got the self-esteem and the enthusiasm and the willingness to make it happen, Greg's going to give you a program here that's going to help you do it, and I'm proud to present it. Look, your enemies are not going to brag on you. So even though you may be a little timid or reserved, you are the cheerleader for your business, and you have to be happy to get out here and cheer for it. You develop signs or develop website slides that say, this is a great place to do business. Number 1 place to do business. We are good. Are you bragging on yourself? Heck yeah, you are. Yeah. But who else, if you don't do it, who else will? So be willing to take those bold steps and say, this is a great place to do business because we do it better than other people. And say it with enthusiasm and let folks know that you mean it. Blow your horn like the 18-wheeler truck drivers, pulling that horn down there and making people happy. It sends out a positive message. So aggressive attitude and just having an overwhelming conviction that you're going to succeed becomes contagious with other customers. How? You keep smiling, you keep trying, and you let everyone know that success is on your mind and you're going to put it on theirs. Now, this one really will touch home because maybe you've been in business a while, or maybe you've been thinking about starting your business a while, or maybe you just got started, which is another case. But we all get in a rut from time to time with our thinking, with our marketing, with our effort, to the way we talk to customers. So I'm going to call this section this afternoon, number 5, removing stale. Yeah, you ever poured some old stale milk in your coffee and watch it curdle on top? Or you're really hungry, you go get that loaf of bread, you don't fix you a fresh BLT sandwich or banana sandwich or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You rush on over to the bread loaf and you pull it out and pull out some bread and it's got black and green mold on it. That's stale. It's really stale, isn't it? And you know what? we can get that way in our thinking, and we can get that way in our business amazingly fast. Matter of fact, I even see some professionals get so stale they kind of lose focus on what we're supposed to be talking about. So that's one reason. That's one reason I revamped this presentation this afternoon. I think I was getting kind of stale in my presentation about cash flow funding and such as that. So I went back, did some research, and said, hey, let's change it up. Let's change it up a little bit. So this afternoon, I'm trying to practice what I preach. Number one, being stale, what are you doing? Maybe you're just kind of hunkered down. I just kind of feel like I'm not ready to make any changes or spend any money. But I don't tell you, usually if you do nothing, you're just watching your business die. So is that where you are? Are you hunkered down, wait out the storm? Or number two, remember those deer that we see out in the highway just looking at the headlights? And we're saying, good gracious, you need to move on because those headlights are going to get you, but we're just kind of frozen in place. Things aren't that bad. Things aren't that good. And I'm just kind of stuck here like a deer in the road looking at the headlights. Let me tell you, if you don't move out of the road, you're going to get run over by the train. It's coming at you. So we'll try to motivate you this afternoon to do it. Number three, what do you need to do? You just need to dig right in today, right now, and say, I'm going to start a journey to a new and better place for my business. I'm going to start a journey to a new and better place for my business. Now, I know that there's several people in class with us today who have said to me during the past 2 weeks that have been attending our academy classes that have committed themselves to start a new journey, and I am so proud of them and so happy to work with them, because that's when things will start happening. You have to commit, and that's a pretty bold statement. That's a pretty bold statement, Steve. I am going to start a new journey. I'm going to be a new traveler in this world of entrepreneurism to see if I can get to a better place. And I don't say to you that you need to pace yourself. You need to do it at your own pace, but keep on plugging away and keeping that finish line on board. This is a photograph of my grandson Colin about 10 years ago. We decided for the first time we were going to take a boat down the Cape Fear River. And it was a big journey for him and for me, real excitement, because we were doing something we hadn't done before. And there's always a little bit of anxiety involved in that. Removing stale. Injecting positive energy. I tell you, one way to do it is have a new grand opening. Yeah, when you add a profit center, when you add something new that you're doing, a brand new way that you're going to serve people, go ahead and advertise it as a grand reopening, because you're offering something all new and exciting. I know one of you has decided this past week to start doing a virtual assistance work. Just decided to do several other types of tasks some other folks have. So promote that in your ads, in your Facebook, and send out newsletters with your email talking about your new thing you're doing. Folks like to see old businesses or establishing businesses do new things, because it says to the world, this old business isn't on the deathbed. This old business is up and running and has energy to keep on trucking. But you have to send the message out. No one else is going to send it out for you. New banners, new signs, new website pages, flags ballooned. Talk about the simple pleasures. What are simple pleasures? Well, that's things like a warm cup of coffee and chocolate chip cookies to some folks. But, some folks at the salon or the barber shop, it might be a free massage or a free shampoo. Maybe if you've got a storefront or an office that just kind of stinks, like with tobacco odors or dog odors or things like that, maybe it's time you clean that place out, freshen it up, so that when someone walks in the door, what do they say? Wow, this smells good in here. Or the lighting is so much better. Dramatic changes will be noticed. Little soft changes will not be noticed. And in today's world, if you want something noticed, it needs to be kind of dramatic. you need to talk about it. So we might even go so bold as to say we're going to have a marketing rebirth. A marketing rebirth to go a long, long way to help folks get to where they need to get. Now, I'm doing that in my business, trying to preach what I'm teaching, in that I have decided this past week that I am going to bring on board 1 or 2 new virtual assistants, because the ones that I've been using, I have 2 that are very good, but they can't handle but so much extra work, and I want to rebirth my business this year. So not only do I need the 2 that are helping me, I'm probably going to need 2 more, because I want a dedicated program of advertising going out to my database through Facebook and through email that will go to my different databases. And if you wait to the last minute to do it, it won't get done. If you wait to the busy season to look after that kind of work, a lot of it's not going to get done, and you'll see your sales start slipping. So I want to have a calendar at least 6 months in advance with my ads all ready to go out and a virtual assistant that's ready to put them in and do that emailing at a certain time of day on certain days, because it's important when you send that stuff out. It's important when you post something on Facebook, the time of day, because your particular audience may be more likely to see it at a certain time of day. And email is a big deal. You want to send your email out so it arrives at your customer's door at a time when it's most likely that they will see it and pay attention to it, rather than miss it or maybe call it spam or something. Like on Mondays, midday is a good time to see things, because they would have cleaned up the weekend mail. If you think your customers are the type that would probably try to close out all their emails on Friday afternoon before they quit, then you might want to send that email in about lunchtime on Friday, so it would be at the top of their list, and have a real good subject title on it that would encourage them to open it. So it takes planning. And I'm going to tell you that right now, if you plan it and get you someone to help set it up, you'll make it happen and things will go well. Every day, if you have staff or in your own person to do it, if every day you consider, I don't have a grand opening for my business, or at least have that attitude. A good example of that, when you go to a Disney World type place, you know, they are convinced that every day that you show up, they have a grand opening for you. They got the music, they got the fireworks, put on the big show. And we get kind of lazy in our own lives promoting our business. We need to put on the big show and welcome our customers. Matter of fact, I just had a brainstorm. You know, this slide I've got up here, that might be a cool thing to have when someone goes to my website, is to show some fireworks, about a 3 or 4 second slide that comes up, shows the fireworks and says, "Welcome to springtime at carverequipment.com." Just to give them some excitement and to show that we've got something up new. Leverage your best tools. What is the best existing tool that you have? Think about the 5 things that you're doing better than anyone else does, or that you do best, and then here's what you do. Those 5 different things, you want to spread them around your business as a whole. Maybe it's the way you're marketing this or marketing that, it's really working, or maybe someone that you've got doing this or that for you. If you've got something that is really clicking good, that's a winner, a proven winner, figure out how to take those ingredients and spread them throughout your business. That's right. If you've got something that's a proven winner that you know is going to work good, you want to use that as much as you can all over the business, different ways. Number 6, 60% of the reason that people come back to you, and coming back to you means cash flow, time and time again. So our effort to do more sales is to have people come back more often. It's just that simple. You want more sales, you bring your raving fan customers back time and time again. And what's going to bring them back? Hospitality is huge. Hospitality is huge. Yes, professionalism is really important in today's world. And in the internet world, of course, people want to look extra good and show how up to date and fancy you can be, and have really classy type videos and things like that. But I got to tell you, that is very important on your landing pages. But the gist of that first impression, when a customer is meeting you in person, by phone, through email, or at your website, the hospitality factor has got to be there. So how do you signal hospitality? One is, instead of just writing an email and saying, start right out into what you want, start talking business without any type of introduction or warmth, I think is a mistake, and a lot of people do that, and they may not agree with me, but 63 years later, I'm still here. So every email I send out, I try to have a greeting, a hello, a happy Tuesday to you. Thanks for the note. It's a pleasure to serve you. Call me anytime. Those type of things is the message I want to send to them, is I want to have a give and take with you. Yeah, it's just not take it or leave it here. Tell me what's on your mind, and we'll try to make it work. And that is all about wanting the customer to know how much I appreciate them and how much I want them to work with me. It's about warmth, sending that warmth message. So hospitality, if you're focused on sending that, and all of us can do a better job with that, all of us. Some of you are doing a great job with what you're doing, but you're missing out on the hospitality factor. So give some thought to that. Now, customer service will speak for itself. That's how you do it on your products, your service, your delivery. Do you know what you're selling? You got good prices on it. If you have a storefront, is your lighting good, or is everything clean? Do you have good standards in doing business? That's customer service, and it's 40% of the game. But remember, hospitality is a little bit more important when it comes to bringing customers back. So when you're looking at customer service, what you want to remember is that you're there to serve with the high standards and professionalism. It's not that you're the most important person in the room because you own the business. Nah. They are always the most important people in the room, and you need to make them feel important. You need to realize that folks will come to you with certain expectations. Whether they've been to you one time or 1,000 times, they have expectations. And it's our job as entrepreneur owners to meet those expectations and try to bump them up a little bit each time. If the customer is in the habit of coming to us and is always pleasantly surprised, or is always comfortable with the message that we're sending, then that's all about having visual passion for business. And that's not going to come from them. You know where visual passion will come from? Right straight from you. Do you love it? Or are you just doing it to try to make enough money to go to the food store and buy some food? Do you love it? Do you want to see it grow? Do you take pride in what you're putting out there? And are you proud of the fact that you are an entrepreneur and you're on a journey? That's the passion that we need to keep pushing it along. Now, there are several marketing and profitability sustainable factors, things that will make a significant difference whether or not you turn the corner and stay in it. So we have to keep in mind a basics. And we talk about this at our academy in week 4 and in week 3 and week 4. What is the reason that you want a good marketing plan? Why do you want that great marketing plan? So I can tell you, we have to be focused on it because we want the right product or service at the right time, at the right price, and a good profitability and a good exit strategy in case we have some left over. So we have to buy right. Whatever we got, we don't have to get that right price. We don't have to buy it in time and at the right price so that we can put a price tag on it that will be profitable to us. And if we have some left over, that we can discount it and liquidate it. That is a professional A to Z approach on your marketing plan. Now make a note of this and then ask your question, what are you doing to achieve this? Well, this involves forecasting. What is the right time? What is the right product? What is the right price? That's forecasting skills. And then negotiating skills will help you find a way to get these items at the right price, below fair market value, so that you can always buy below fair market value and sell above fair market value. That's all about forecasting to get it there. And then we will have targeted the right customer group and how to advertise towards them to make it work. Now remember, back in the last couple of sections, I said plan it ahead to have what prices and products that you want to have on September 1st. You need to be thinking about ordering them now and negotiating for the best price, or at least getting an order in. And you also need to be thinking about how are you going to market this stuff? What are your ads going to look like? What are your emails going to look like? And go ahead and start putting that together and putting it on the calendar the date it needs to go out. The beautiful thing about emailing and Facebook is you can send out this ad on Monday of this week and send the same ad out on Friday. And when you're sending that second one out, you're just copying and pasting it and letting it go. You're not spending any money to speak of, because the hard work of preparation and imaging is already done. Is having things in place for the timing that information goes out. So this is all about you with this new journey that we're going to start, is having an A to Z professional approach. Not a little league, not a junior league, not the junior varsity, a professional approach. And whether you're a one-man show just getting started or you've been in business for 10 or 15 years, you can have a professional A to Z marketing plan. Now, we teach in our academy courses what we call the Golden Goose Plan, and it works. I'm going to pull out some sections of it a little later on this afternoon and show it to you so that you can make things start happening at your place tomorrow. So we got to create value, and we got to stay away from trying to be the cheapest guy in town, because right now I want you to be creating value and worth and having something to be proud of at the end of the day, and just not saying you were the cheapest person in town, therefore you had some sales. Creating value is what we want to do. Number 9, I do not want you to discount in your business. And I discount in my business all the time. But I need to rephrase this then. I do not want you to give discounts in your business that you didn't plan to give. And as long as we started out developing your price tag that has negotiating room in it and planned discounts and doing the other things you need to do for advertising and paying your bills and paying your taxes, and at the end of the day, having some profit left, then you're a good business person. Then you're an entrepreneur that'll be here for a few years. But if you don't plan your ticket pricing, then you get stuck discounting that you didn't plan to do, then you're going to give away your profits with discounts. And that's sad. And let me tell you, it happens sometimes with the very best planning. Because remember what I said a while ago, sometimes you have to liquidate and turn old inventory into new cash. So you're not get enough of that anyway. But the key is to plan not to do it. Is to plan your pricing so that you can give discounts and still end up with the money. Now, a factor that some folks just have a hard time getting, we go to Walmart and we shop, and we go to Target and we watch TV and we see Amazon with everybody shopping here and there, but that's not the case with us. We are small individual entrepreneurs running a single person or several person business. We cannot be all things to all people. Don't even pretend to be. Don't even pretend to be. We can't be all things to people, but we remember that we must always be everything to some people. Everything to some people. And when that's the case, those people will become our raving fan customers. They'll stay with you till they die. So you'll build your relationships one at a time to create a raving fan customer, and you'll stay in business. Every time you get an email or you talk with a customer, you send out a quote, it needs to be in your DNA that I'm going to take that name and that email address or that cell phone number and right now put it over in my database. It will become as natural to you as scratching your nose. This week so far, it's Tuesday, I've already put 15 people, new names, new email addresses in my database. What does that say to you? Why do I take the time to do that? You know, over the course of the year, that takes a lot of time. Because I know that little minute or two that I copy and paste that email address over into my database, I am planting seeds for future business. Because when we start doing these mail-out campaigns, those new email addresses will start getting our message, and some of them will buy, and some of them will refer them on. But either way, it's going to create new business and will give you the confidence to know that you can stay in business a long time if you take that action. Now we're going to have a slide here, just as plain and simple. I want you to write this down on your paper and say to yourself, I have got to. I am determined I'm going to do this. I promise myself I am going to have enough marketable profit centers that I can have upsells and stack my profits. It is the difference in being in business a month or being in business 60 years. Upsells keep businesses open. If you're just doing one thing, I will guarantee you that one thing will always go south sometime. Don't care what it is. And if you don't believe it, just look at what COVID has done for us. If businesses that have one thing that COVID affected them, put them out of business. Restaurants, gyms, places where you had to have interaction, where people had to meet. Folks that were giving seminars at community colleges like I was. It put us out of business in one day, the whole industry. Things happen. As strong as the tobacco industry was, the tobacco auction company, where me as a small operator had as many as 40 to 60 rental forklifts that every year for over 30 years I rented into the tobacco markets to clean the floors and move tobacco in and out of the warehouses. And then one day it died. That several $1 million worth of business I had going on for a long time just cut off like a spigot. I know that it happens. You've got a good product line, or you got one good customer that you do all your work for one good customer. For whatever reason, they evaporate and you're out of business. What is your risk management tool to say I'm going to have long-term life in my business? It is having multiple profit centers that are interconnected in such a way that they create upsells. So that when a customer buys one thing, you got other items right there to make it happen. So if you're not doing that, or you don't know how to do it for the type of business that you're in, contact Greg, send me an email. I'll be glad to give you some ideas. And this isn't just a thought that I'm dreaming about. I believe in it, and I know that you'll learn a lot about it. Excuse me. Sneeze out. I know that you'll learn about it in our Academy Series webinars, but I'll send you the information otherwise. Just send me that email. Now, all of you, look at the chat board, and I opened up with my name and my email address. So write that down and make a note of it. You can put your request right there in chat if you'd like, and send another email as well. Thank you for the bless you, Janice. I appreciate it. All right. All right, there you go. We have talked about now 10 ways to jumpstart your cash flow, 10 ways to jumpstart your sales. Now we need to find out how to get our customers to learn about these new things that you're doing. We want our business to help customers find us, to help bring them to us like a magnet. In your mind, are you doing what it takes to bring, that's helping bring customers to you, bringing them to you like a magnet? Because the option is you have to be reaching out and pulling them in. There's a major difference there. Reaching out and pulling them in requires a lot of energy and effort and money and focus on your part. And if you are a one-person operator trying to get your business up and running, that will drain you of energy and money. But if you set up your marketing campaign to bring customers to you like a magnet, then you can pick and choose, and you'll have a lot more business for a lot less work. So that's our objective here. And the way that we do this is that you have targeted customer groups. Early on, I mentioned to you, we want to find that low-hanging fruit and have a plan to reach out to each one of those groups. Let's get some water. All right, if anybody has any questions, you put where it says reactions down next to your chat. If you want to raise your hand and ask a question, I'll be glad to take a moment now to briefly go away to do that for you. Let me just see something here. I see Janice, are you on board? And is this the Janice in Kinston? Okay, let me unmute here. I need to ask Janice a question while we're talking. Hey, Janice, can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you in Kinston? All right. And how is your business going?
So far, so good. It's doing very much better than since I've been taking the classes, getting a better knowledge of what I need to be doing and why I need to do it.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you for putting your signs up, and I noticed that you've been doing some of that and more marketing. You really got a great product, and I hope it will do well. Janice is on board with us. She's over in Kinston, and she makes beautiful wreaths for your doors. She makes table toppers and different arrangements for decor, and will do special products for you. Now, this is a lady who works real hard, got full-time careers, but has taken her hobby and has turned it into a great business. So I am so happy to be able to focus on her because she goes the extra mile to give good service at very reasonable prices. So she's on board here. She's a great entrepreneur such as that. I'd encourage y'all to Janice, make sure you put your email address in on chat, okay?
I did.
Okay, so that people can contact you, and I'm happy to recommend you. And thank you for your continuing to show up and give us great ideas.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so just so proud of you for being with us today. All right, I'll turn the mics back off. So how are we going to find customers now? We're going to help them find us, and there's several ways to make that happen. And we're going to start out with the 4 best ones. I like to call it the 1-2 punch, the 1-3-4 punch. Very effective way to make things happen. What is the most effective way for customers to find you and the least costly way? It is your mobile web page. And what is a mobile web page? When you look at your business on your telephone after you type it in, is your web page sending you business, or is it just an information thing? Is your web page a billboard, or is it an information gathering machine that encourages the customers to call you right now? So that's number one. I want you to think about that. And mobile web pages usually have to be designed by a webmaster, somebody that's knowing what they're doing. So find the person that does it. This is a copy of one of my mobile pages at carverequipment.com. And what I want is through this red button and blue button, when someone finds me on their telephone, I want to be able to press that blue button and call me on the telephone. Because if I can get and talk to them, I can take them out of the market. And if it's the wrong time of day or I'm done answering or for whatever reason, I want to be able to hit that red button and send me a text message or an email. Are you doing that for your customers? Are you doing that for your business? What does your mobile page look like? Then after that, notice I've got photographs of my different marketable profit centers, different items. And if you were on your phone, you could keep scrolling down and see lots more. But this is what I really suggest that you try to achieve with your mobile page. But you got to look at it and you got to figure out how to make it effective. Most people are not doing that, and it's costing them money every single day. This is another mobile page for my book sales. Number two, what is the second least costly way? It's kind of the old-fashioned way to help customers find you. Well, that is as old-fashioned as it gets. That's your raving fan customers, your repeat business customers, and your continuous promotion. The combination of the right hand and the left hand here coming together is a big hammer that will force activity from your customers, because if you're sending them the constant promotions to your regular customers, they will stay in touch and be more likely to come back and do business with you right away. And right away means more cash flow right now. That's just a bottom line. You got to keep fresh bait in the water, and the way you keep fresh bait in the water to catch fish, the way you keep the fresh bait in the water to catch customers is continuous promotions. It's just that simple. Keep it up. And now there's a new fashioned way. It's been around for a number of years, but it's probably going to be new to you, because I find that 90% of the folks coming to my webinars, just like you guys are here, have not got your business on Google account set up. There is a way that this afternoon you can have a Google account and tomorrow start getting business from it and have not spent any money whatsoever. So know that if you want to be able to have people see your map, to see the different items that you sell, that my business on Google is the way to get it done. It is so effective. It is a must for someone that's all about getting business done. Several folks on board with us this afternoon, I know that you've done this, and I know that you're already seeing the effects of it. This is what an account would look like on the screen. It would talk about your business name. It would give some all the photos that you want to post. It would give people a map to your location, and then talk about different things. It's a place that, notice right here, those reviews, those 6 reviews. That is so important. So you go to Google, you look up in the right-hand corner where those 12 dots are all up there, and you click on that dot formation, and then you click on my or Google Maps, I think is the way you get there, and set up your account, and you can do this, basically costing you very little. Now, you don't have to, it may take a day or two for you to verify to them about your address, because they want to make sure they got your address right. But it is so important. Notice here where the cursor is, right here. 506 Google reviews. See those 5 stars? That in itself is a 1 second. It only takes 1 second for a potential customer to look at that Google review and see those 5 stars, and automatically their brain says, okay, these people do good. They got good reviews. It's 5 stars. They're bound to be good people. Now, a few people will read those reviews, but most people are interested in seeing how many stars you got. I know I was...
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Barbara.
When I first set up my Google account, I had some of my friends who were also customers, and I asked them to go give me a review to get me on the map, because if you don't have any reviews, it's not going to show up in a search as quick. So that kind of got the pot going.
That is a very smart thing to do, and I am so glad you shared that with us because it is just absolutely critical. Like I said earlier, if you don't brag on yourself, nobody else will. So the minute you get your reviews up, do exactly what Barbara said. Let your customers, let your family members, let anybody you know that can will go over here and give you a 5-star review. It's like money in the bank and get things going. You may never get any more reviews as long as you're up there, or you may get 150 reviews. But starting out with a good reviews is really important for you. And we'll start sending your business. Now, here's a little tip. You can post photos at my business on Google, your Google Maps, that's your account. You can go there, you can add photos after photos. And listen, when you're searching on the internet on Google, and you know you put in an item and it starts giving you a little string of photos on the title line there, here and there, well, they get those photos from the photos that are posted at Google My Business. So, and that gives you even an extra way to help customers find you. The more photos you got there, the more business you're going to start getting. So please, please do this for your own good. Do yourself a great big favor and get your business listed at Google Maps. Big deal. Number 4, and as heavy hitter as you can get, your YouTube videos can be put on a YouTube channel. And other words for a YouTube channel is your YouTube website. Your YouTube website. And that too is almost free. Maybe a little charge for it, but I'm not sure if there's any at all, but it is negligible. And then you have your YouTube channel where as you're making YouTubes, you can line them up and classify them and put them right there so that when someone comes that is led to your video and they subscribe to your channel, listen to this, that they subscribe to your channel, every time you put a new video in there, a copy of it goes out to that customer. It is a gift that keeps on giving. Now, if you want to say, you know, I think today I've done a lot right today. I've had a pretty good day, but you know, it's just a human nature to say, I think I'm gonna make a big screw up today and just let it fall through the crack. I've done a lot right. I am due, and it's okay for me to make a great big mistake, even if it costs me a lot of business. Or, you know, hey, I'm having a dark spirit. I'm feeling a little dark today, so I'm going to say the heck with all this stuff. No, not. Because what you want to do is you do want to do this. You want to do yourself a great big favor. You want to put some money in your bank. You want to make extra money to buy your grandchildren a new pair of shoes and a bathing suit this summer. Let me tell you, get yourself a YouTube channel and start working it, because it is so important. Now, you name that channel, something that's related to your business or yourself, but every time you do a YouTube video, you name that so that the search engines will find it. The names of the channels are just as important as DBAs that you name. I mean, the names of the videos are just as important as the names of your web pages. So make it happen today. Now, if I were a football coach and I gave you this assignment to determine whether or not you stayed on the winning team, and you ignored the opportunity to get my business on Google and a YouTube channel, if you ignored those opportunities, I'd have to kick you off the team, because it would be a sign to me that you're not serious about moving forward. Forgive me for stepping on your toes there a little bit. I'm just trying to motivate you because I love you. I love you so much. So stop thinking about getting involved with YouTube and start making those videos and getting your own YouTube channel. And you have just upped the game. You have just upped your game tremendously about doing more business. So those are the big 4, the 1, 2, 3, 4 punch that we just went through. But there's a few other items I want to mention. Offer as many marketing profit centers as you can. As I said earlier, I want you to have plenty of things that you can sell, so you can say, and by the way, and different customer groups to do business with you. The more items you have to sell, that means that's the more DBAs and private labels that you can put on them, which means your sales will just start multiplying. Your sales will just they go from one thing to 10 different things, and therefore you'll get 10 times as many sales. Offer as many marketable profit centers as you can. I want you to have, number one, I want you to have some profit centers that people need and some profit centers that people want. I want you to have at least one each of these three types of profit centers. That profit centers that are designed to bring in new customers, to bring in people off the street, because you got to have new customers. You're going to lose a third of them every year. Number two, I want you to have profit centers that are all about repeat business, folks that will be coming back time after time. You need those to make more cash flow. And I want you to have some profit centers that create big ticket sales, some big deposits, either by the design of the product, like something that costs a lot of money, or that you are bundling or grouping your items that don't cost so much money, or your imagination putting together different types of baskets or programs or gift baskets or things that will go a long, long way. Now, Janice, I would recommend to you already right now that you look at looking at October this year, thinking about offering a package of a door wreath, two centerpieces for tables, a couple of candle holders. Put together 5 or 6 things that maybe even run the price up to $200 to $250. Put together some packages that might work. July the 4th, same thing. Maybe a July the 4th wreath, a table center for the family gathering at the holidays with some flags in it. Put together some packages and offer them as a bundled price, and see if you can get some bigger ticket sales. That's the type of approach that you would use on that. Number 6, again, go back to those target customer groups like we were talking with Vanessa about earlier, and consider them niche market groups. You'll always be able to make a lot more money and have a lot more repeat business with niche markets that you zero in on. And Vanessa's got great products to do that with, different organizations, first responders, so easy to use her. It's easy for me to do that because I sell products that I can focus on folks that are growing hay. I can focus on folks that are doing roadside mowing. I can focus on people that are doing solar farm mowing in my business. So I send out different promotions to those individual niche markets and get a good return for that. As I said earlier, start today making a habit of feeding your database with email addresses. That's important. Now, if you guys want some email addresses, if you're ready to do that and you got your promotions ready to go and you want me to help you a little bit with email addresses in different areas, I might be able to do that. That would only ask that you do not sell them or give them to anyone else, but I'll help jumpstart your database for you and just be happy to do it with good numbers of email addresses. No extra cost, all free. The SEO strategies for setting your websites up and your pages and your Facebook advertisements and other things all have to do with SEO strategies to determine whether your ad comes up high on the list in the ranking on a page, on the Google page, or it's 20 pages down where you just have to keep scrolling down and down and down to find it if you ever find it. The difference in whether your page comes up high or not is SEO strategies, search engine optimization. Now, I've got a good heavy-duty handout that we send out on this, and I'll be glad to share with you. But it is imperative that you understand how SEO strategies help customers find you. What is that? Maybe you've never heard of it before. SEO is a skill or an art form, that you might call it, that is defined by the way you put content words on your web pages or in your ads. and you try to load up the certain words on those pages so that the search engines will find your page faster and before your competitors' pages. That just boils it right down, and you can make a world of difference in how easy it is for customers to find you. Which is going to have a more favorable influence on your cash flow? Web pages that never reach high ranking and therefore are not seen very often, or web pages that are seen immediately when someone types in a search term and they go there and have the opportunity to buy something. Well, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? Yeah. So having the website hadn't got anything to do with how fast you're going to start seeing your cash flow increase. But having the website where you are maxing out and wide open, pedal to the metal on doing your search engine optimization can have everything to see with your cash flow increasing. How do I know that? I live it every day. Your factors are so important, take it very serious. There's 5 different things that you can do right away. One is you want to name your web pages names that are the same as what the search terms are coming in. You want your web pages to be mobile friendly so that whatever the customer is seeing on their telephone is easy to read and manipulate. Usually that is a webmaster job to make things mobile friendly. And as mentioned before, you want as many videos on as many pages as you can, because a web page with a video comes up faster than one that does not. You want to remember that the keywords or search terms that you're trying to create traffic with, that you've got those actual search terms in the text as many times as you can load that page. That will help that search engine find your page. And lastly, and a mistake that a lot of you are making when I visit around different search engines or different websites, I want you to have links at your website where that are talking about, and by the way, we've got this, this, and this, so that when they click on something, they're going to another place at your website. This is like the fox in the hen house. If someone comes to your website, you don't want to be giving them links to send them to somebody else's website, even if it's one of your distributors or suppliers, because those distributors and suppliers are keeping up with their databases and sharing them with other dealers, or telling your customers where a dealer is closer to them. You want to keep people at your website and do not do anything to send them somewhere else. But you do want to give them enough links to encourage them to shop around and stay a while. Now, who does that really good? Amazon does that. Amazon, once you log on, it's hard to get away from it because they'll keep reminding you of things that you might want to look at. We can do the same thing, and we do the same thing with our websites by giving people plenty of ways to do it. Now, if you'll go to carverequipment.com, you'll see at the top of our web page, that in the header, so it's on every web page at the website, a little slideshow that's going back and forth all the time. And that slideshow shows about 10 of our different profit centers going on. So anytime someone is on our website looking at one thing, there's a little slideshow up top that's reminding them, and by the way, we've also got this stuff, and that really enhances our sales and our cash flow. Number 9, we have to be conscious of location. Everything we do in business, we have to be conscious of location, because if we're not at the right place, we're not going to be seen, and to see and be seen is what it's all about. So you're thinking about sign placement, ad placement in magazines, how you're merchandising your products, how you do your print ads, your website design. If you're doing presentations, where you stand in the room, where you sit at the table. Location, location, location is so important in virtually everything doing business, and especially in entrepreneurship. Now, I'm going to leave this up for a minute because it's not in your handout. There's going to be 2 little slides like this. I'd like for you to write them down. This is a 5-star sales plan that Greg asked me to put together a presentation. How are we going to promote cash flow and be more profitable right away? 10 quick ways. So here is a plan that you can take everything that we've already talked about today and use it to start moving your business forward. There's not a single item on here that you can't do for a very low cost. There's not a single item on here that will be a waste of time. Those 2 factors make every item on here a good investment. Identify your profit centers and write down, list them up, how do they connect to create upsells? How do they connect that we can say, and by the way, we've also got this. Look at your items and determine when the best season is to have sales. Just as I was speaking with Janice and encouraging her to go ahead and look ahead to the July 4th season. And of course, I didn't even mention Easter. Excuse me. I didn't even mention Easter, but the July 4th season and other things like that. And plan your marketing ahead of time. Get your ads in place and start sending them out. People, you need to have those ads out there a good 60 days in advance and then repeat them every week to remind people. Remember, people have to see your ads 9 times before they do business with you. So have that repetition. Do it in a low-cost way, like with email or with Facebook, but put the information out there. Develop your pricing and discounting strategies. Develop the upsell package and discount packages so you can put that information in your promotions. And then, right now, let's get busy and create some YouTube videos talking about these items that you want to promote. Do a video on it. It's just those videos named properly on the internet and in your video YouTube channel will be constant ads running for you all the time simply because they are videos and you've named them properly. And then post, run, display ads, make it happen. Put it in gear. In other words, make them go live. My webmaster says, let's make it go live. Now, I don't care who you are or where you are. This is a good plan. It is a very good plan that'll make you money. Now, what is the methods and actions that we're going to use to do this? 1, we're going to have our website up and running. 2, we're going to be heavy duty on Facebook. We're going to do our email blast. And we're going to have lots of links on those emails to pages and videos. And maybe even we're going to do some guerrilla stuff like on eBay or Craigslist, or maybe put out some flyers, lots of little things that we can do. And lastly, we're going to have our own YouTube channel where we can bring all this together and start seeing some new business come our way. I want to tell you, it makes me really excited just to think about the possibility. I think we've got about 15, 16 people on board with us now. And by God, you add that up to $1,000 extra this year, that's another $15,000 to $20,000 that we can make by working together and trying to enjoy mutual helpfulness through these webinars. And that's the power of the small business centers. They can help so many people come together and share ideas like we're doing this afternoon. And if you use their other webinars and seminars that my counterparts are giving, on a regular basis, and find someone that you're comfortable with, stay with them. Make it just a part of your personal training situation. Now, we got a little bit more time, so I want to start into some basic stuff about cash flow that when you run out, things that you have to do sometimes. So we're going to talk in general now. Maybe you're in a situation that you're ready to start, or you want to start a new profit center, and you're just trying to think about, I don't have the money now, I need to see if I can find some money. So where is the helping hand that you might find some extra money? Well, the truth of the matter is the helping hand that will help you most all the time is that one at the end of your own arm. Yeah, this one on my hand, this one on my hand. I can find some assistance somewhere, but I have to go out and shake hands and ask for it and invite someone to give me some information to help. You do too. Be willing to stick your arm out there and say, I'd like some information. The Small Business Center is the very best place that you can go in your community, or if you're not from the Lenore County area or eastern North Carolina, let me know where you are, and I'll be glad to give you the address and send a letter of introduction to the Small Business Center that is responsible for your address. So don't hesitate to let us know. All of them work together. But the director of the local Small Business Center in every county or several counties they serve is the very best source to know which banks or which lending institutions or which committees of this or which groups of government here and there are sending out information saying we will welcome requests for grants or low interest loans from entrepreneurs. The Small Business Center's state network is a great source to find out who's in that game right now. And there's few and far between people offering that, but the best place to find out where the opportunities are at the Small Business Center. So maybe we don't have a little country tune here and we talk about I'm down, I got to start up my business blues. Well, you can always break the piggy bank to find some cash. You can always go in your freezer to find some extra cash maybe, or you know someone that does. Maybe you got a great aunt like I did. My Aunt Myrtle used to keep her money in her freezer. Maybe you want to try to borrow some money from family or friends. Or maybe like my grandmother used to keep her money out in the yard in mason jars. Actually, when my dad started his business, he borrowed $3,000 from my Granny Carver, and she dug it up out of the yard, and we got our business started that way. So I know it works. I know it works often. So, but you know what? Maybe you can sell the boat, that old boat out in the yard that nobody's used, or you got someone that's got a lot of stuff, and they might say, you know, if you sell this stuff to me and split it, or if you sell it, I'll give you the proceeds. Sometimes starting a new business can be done just by cleaning up the junk around your house or the farm, or someone you know will let you take stuff and sell it. And it is amazing how it adds up. I've had several entrepreneurs start their businesses by having their yard sales and cleanup sales. It goes a long, long way to go things, old four-wheelers or motorcycles or trailers or this or that, or just scrap steel or old cars. All can be turned into cash. And don't take that money and go blow it that same weekend. Put it in the bank. And over a period of a summer, or maybe 2 summers or summer and fall, you might be able to put together $5,000 or $10,000. Having a sale, having a plate sale works. Everybody goes out to supper on weekends, and usually we're spending $10 to $15 per person on average when we go to a sale. Well, put together a fundraiser of your own for your business or in combination with a nonprofit and make some money. Put those great cooking skills you've got to work. Spaghetti dinners can be very, very profitable. Chicken dinners can be very, very profitable. This is an actual photograph of a fundraising, small business fundraising that was done over in the eastern part of the state in a combination of 3 entrepreneurs and their church put it on together and split the proceeds. The business earned over $5,000 and the church did too, with a really good plate sale. It is amazing. When you do this, folks will provide the chickens. Some folks will provide the plates or the different bread or tea or paper products. You start putting together a sale like this, a promotion fundraiser, people will help you. I've been doing it for years, and I use a organizational chart I call the Dozen Doers. Glad to share it with you or anyone else that would like to see it. And what that is you find as many people as you can that will agree to take a certain job in the thing, and you get 12 people together, everybody kind of pushing it, all of a sudden you'll find that that turns into 50 people and 100 people as you go out. But you put together the top 12 that agree to help you get your business started with a fundraiser. They will become your Raven fan customers, and they will promote it. If you can't find 12 people to help you, maybe you need to stop being a business person and just spend all your time making friends. Because let me tell you, you're going to need folks to support you, and they will come to your aid, and they will be your very best customers. I don't want you to be the leader of the dozen doers. That would be your chairman. Find folks and give them the opportunity to do it. Take pride in it and see if you can make things work. Do not go forward with this because you don't want to infringe on Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts or church groups or the Legion or the VFW or the Shriners or the Lodge. Have your fundraiser in conjunction with them. If you're a member of one of those groups or a church group, do it together, because that way you will double the number of people or triple or quadruple the number of folks that would be interested in buying tickets. Fact of the matter is, most of us, more than half of folks getting their businesses started or getting them started with money either out of your own pocket or some money that mom or dad or an uncle or someone has helped you in the family. And I call that cash flow from family, friends, but no fools. We don't want any fools. If you don't get money from your family and friends, treat it like a business. Write it down, document it with a promissory note, pay the interest, pay it on time, and create some good credit sounding for your own. And when you pay that back, there'll be a good chance that they will say you need some more, because you're going to pay them a good interest rate and pay like you're supposed to. Family and friends are really good. I suggest you don't borrow money from family and friends for more than 2 years. And when you do it with a promissory note. Offer collateral that helps you. Now, if you don't have a promissory note or want to learn more about it, I'll be glad to send you some information with that. Very good news for you. You may think that you need to raise a lot of money to get a particular aspect of your business started. But the fact of the matter is, there's a good chance that if you're needing a truck, a backhoe, a sewing machine, a certain type of piece of equipment, there's a good chance that whoever sells those things will have in-house financing. You may need to come up with a down payment and pay the insurance, but as far as the bulk of the loan, what you're buying will become the collateral, which makes things a whole lot easier, and it doesn't tie up your other credit sources. Sometimes folks do not do this, and when they don't, they just can't ever move forward. People will ask me, Steve, should I wait till I can pay cash for something before I buy it? Because I really don't want to go into debt. I have to say, if you've got a good business plan and what you're buying is going to make you money, and you can document that, then go ahead and go in debt. Get your business up and running, because you just can't get there until you do. I had a entrepreneur the other day in one of our classes tell me, you know, I'm really looking forward to getting my business started. I want to do like 2 men in a truck type business, and as soon as I can go buy me a truck, I'm going to do that. And I said, well, how long is that going to take? And I said, well, I don't have any idea. Well, my suggestion to them was to go ahead and put together your business plan, borrow the money to do the down payment, and get that truck. And if you don't want to do that, then rent a truck. Find out what your truck rental is. You take on the business, you do the quotes. When you get an order, go rent the truck, make some money. Huge corporations with hundreds of trucks or thousands of trucks lease trucks all the time for that very reason. So look for a way to get around what we're calling your financial troubles. Sometimes it's as simple as just renting something and make money with it. That's a good way to do business. Pre-sales is a good way to do business. Let's say you've got something that I'll go ahead and pay you for now. Let's say that Janice offers me a deal that says, Steve, if you pay me now $100, I'll sell you that I'll have that $125 item ready for you at a certain date in the future. Well, we've got a good relationship, and I would do that. I would do a pre-sale to help an entrepreneur get started to create some cash flow for them. You got to be square with yourself here. It takes a lot of trust and a lot of discipline, But pre-sales is a huge, good way to get your business up and running so that people will help you get the door open as soon as possible. You just got to be honest and treat people with respect and do it fairly. After you're open, daily cash flow has got to be on your mind all the time. Adding profit centers is so very important. Growing your business is so important. If you're standing still, you're not getting anywhere. Fighting crises, fighting small items before they become big crises is a good way to keep your cash flow going. So you need some cash now. Let's first of all eliminate any bottlenecks you've got in your business. If you've got some past due accounts out there that people owe you money, go get it. You're not a bank. Don't let other people's poor credit paying put you out of business, because it can happen. With the credit card world like it is today, there's no reason that you should be doing time sales. Surgically eliminate waste that's in your business, stretch your dollars, and always do that magic act, and that is turn old assets into new dollars. If you've got items you've purchased that you just don't think you're going to sell, then liquidate them for whatever you can get for them, and take that money and put it into something that you can sell. Up the profit centers. Find new resources for more upsells. Reach out to your raving fan customers for timely promotions. After COVID, a lot of us lost touch with friends and family and potential customers. Lost touch with a lot of people in general. So now it's time we have to be reaching out to reconstitute that database and create relationships. Spring is a great time to do that. If you've got credit lines, use them. Having a credit card, having a credit line is a good thing to have, but you have to use them to keep them, because if you don't use them, you'll lose them. So even if you're just borrowing $100 every 6 months, do that, pay it as soon as the bill comes in, because again, if you don't use your credit lines and your credit cards, two things will happen. The interest rates will go up, your credit line will go down, the amount that you can borrow on it, or you may lose it altogether. Banks and credit institutions love to put out credit lines, but only when they're being used. Otherwise, they're a tangible deficit for them. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and especially dealing business with local banks. So if you know that you don't want to borrow money from the local bank, do your best to find out who the officers of the bank are. Have a conversation with one of them, kind of grease the wheels before your deal ever gets to the loan officer. Good process to go through there. I'll be glad to help you with it. Each individual situation will be different. Cash flow tactics related to COVID. Future cash flow issues. First of all, here's the deal. You may want to write this down on your notes. In your business that you're planning and doing, we got to think about some things now. COVID really changed some things. Think about home delivery. Is your business and your services you're bringing, are you able to deliver what people want? Or are you going to have to ship it, run the shipping cost up and such as that? So folks that are serving a tight area geographically, I'll mention Janice, for example. She might want to have a flat fee for a home delivery so people, she can carry it right to them. Think takeout, though, so that if someone does want to come and pick it up, you can arrange them to do that. And if you're a restaurant or a service provider, then you might want to consider what a drive-through window might look like in your business. I want to tell you, if I was building a restaurant these days or a convenience store, I'd have to think about adding that extra cost for a drive-through window in my construction, or adding in my business if I didn't, because COVID is not gone forever, and people learn to enjoy that process. So how would that affect you? Think direct ship. Maybe what you're selling can be shipped directly from the customer. You want to make sure that you're making it easy for them to get the product. That's a big deal for me. That person in Washington buying that hay equipment, when I get paid, we'll put all that equipment on an 18-wheeler, regular freight truck, and send it on. And they'll carry it right to them, or they can pick it up at the terminal near their house. Everything that you can do to make it easy for the customer to do business with you is a good thing. Now, I recently was interviewing some folks to be my virtual assistants. I've talked to 3 or 4 people now, and I'm finding that some folks, and all these were ladies, all of them were young, all of them professional, but there seems to be a spirit across the board there that I'm going to have my structure the way it's got to be, and you're going to have to fit into my structure. And they're happy to tell you that. In other words, I'm not going to have a lot of flexibility with time. It may take me a day or two to get back with email and this. And when I start getting those messages, those signals, it kind of scares me a little bit, because you all could already tell when I want something done and need it done right now. So I'll need to shop maybe for a long time before I find that person that's willing to be flexible, maybe work some odd hours. The cost isn't that much important to me, but the performance is everything. So as you're looking at your business, I want to assure you that being cheap and the cost in some situations has nothing to do with what the customer is looking for. If what you're providing is fast service, easy to do business with, top flight performance, flexibility, then maybe you can raise your prices or put a surcharge on it for that, or put on the action program prices. Because there are folks like me and maybe like you that I really am willing to pay the extra price to get what I want and, listen, what I need. Remember, if those people will serve my needs as well as they serve my wants, then they're going to be in a position to make a lot more money. So keep them separated. When you're offering special service or flexibility, think about how to change the price. Now, Kenny, in the trucking business, I can remember a few years ago that I sold some cedars out in Utah, and that's a long way from North Carolina. And the customers wanted them in 3 days. They wanted those cedars in 3 or 4 days because we had a timeline with a weather front coming in, and they needed to get that seed in the ground before the temperature got too cold. Well, I was able to find a truck driving team who agreed to pick that stuff up in Wilson and drive them straight through. Team drivers, exchanging times and such as that. And they charged me about twice as much as that trip would normally cost. And they made really good money doing that. But you know what? The customer didn't blink an eye. He realized how important it was and was willing to pay that extra, I think, $2,000 or $3,000 to get that shipment delivered in a timely way. So when you're in a position to offer that type of service and flexibility to handle emergencies and special situations, then go ahead and charge for it. Folks will like that, and they will really recommend you in the future. More sales, start selling more marketable profit centers. Whatever you can add on that is something people need, go ahead and do it. Figure it out. But do it in such a way that you can use it as an upsell and say, and by the way, maybe you got a hobby that you can turn into a business to become an extra profit center, something you really love doing, and let's figure out a way to make some money doing it. That'd be a way to create additional sales and profit centers. So we're going to bring it on in for a landing, and then we can talk a little bit if y'all like. So let's just see where we're at. We got to get in the game. We can't change our game sitting up in the stands. You got to get out there and be the player. You guys are the quarterbacks of your team, and if the quarterback of the team is sitting up in the stands, business isn't going anywhere. So get in the game. Get in the game and maintain the endurance to stay in the game, and things will be a whole lot better. So start today. If you need help, call that small business center. Don't ever think everything is just fine, because it can always be improved. Let's look for new upsells and selling opportunities. Try hard, and it's really hard, to fight distractions and to maintain high standards. But lastly, and most important, we really need to be the best people we can be. Let our light shine so that we can help others. So wherever you find your inspiration, whether it's with Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, find inspiration where you can and make it work for you. because whatever your religion or where you find that inspiration, let it shine. Let people see it. Let them see you are happy, you're glad to serve them. You don't know all the answers, you don't pretend to. But look here, I am excited about where we're going in business in 2023. And if I do things right and stay with a good marketing plan, I will have a good year. And I believe that, and I trust in you to do it as well. So thank you very much for being with us. I invite you to, we're going to have another program, I think, in a week. Let me look at my calendar here. Caston Cash Flow, February 28th. March 14th, we'll be back to talk about taxes. Again, it's the 2 to 4 time slot, so we look forward to seeing you. So I'm going to turn the mics back on, and I'd love to hear from anyone with any comments that you have. Hello, Amanda. Good to have you back on board this afternoon.
Hey, how are you this afternoon?
I'm good. I hope things are well with you.
Yeah, I'm working on my Facebook pages this week, and I'm not very computer literate, so.
You know, we all share some of that. I know what good. Congratulations for starting on it.
Thank you.
Any other information? Hey, Janice.
Yes, sir. I
So
am so happy. I'm looking forward to going to the Google part. I keep procrastinating and saying I'm going to do that. And so I got to sit down and write up a business thing so that it will be able to be profitable. I got some new pictures that I want to upload, and so that will be my entry into that area. So I think that will be a great time, a great thing for me, because I know it's upcoming venues that I have planned to attend and see where I can fit myself into them. So thank you so much for the information.
You're right, Janice. And let me tell you that my business on Google, you can load it up with all your pretty pictures of your different wreaths. And man, that'll be powerful. That'll be real powerful.
Exactly.
So good luck with that.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, and good luck to you. Melanie, have you got your mic on?
I just turned it on. I wanted to thank you, especially I'm starting a nonprofit, and I really appreciated all of the information, but especially the information about the web page, because that is, I really need to work on getting some sponsors, getting some interest in what we're trying to do. So it's something I've put off again, as your previous person mentioned, that I'm not the most computer literate. I know that is an important tool, a useful tool, but it's not my favorite. But so anything I can learn about it, I appreciate it, and I really appreciate your presentation.
Where are you located, Melanie?
New Bern.
Fantastic. And you want to tell us about your nonprofit?
Yes. We are Task Force Neuro. Our main goal right now is that we are supplying a loan closet for individuals with severe neurologic disorders or disabilities or injuries. And my experience is in physical therapy, and there are a lot of gaps for families, whether
Sure.
they're infants or seniors, especially since the pandemic. A lot of the Medicaid, Medicare benefits, the social workers that were available to help families find resources and necessary doctors or equipment are just not there. And so we want to fill in that gap.
It certainly sounds like there's a great need, and that's down in New Bern, so that's close by. And maybe I'd like to learn more about that and let our Academy of Associates know about it. And have you entered your email address in on the chat board?
I think I did. I did when
Okay.
I first entered the class, and
Very good.
And our goal right now, we're working in Craven County, but the goal is to serve Eastern North Carolina.
Good for you. Well, we look forward to helping you all that we can. I know Mr. Hannibal will look forward to meeting with you as well.
Yeah, I've met with him several times. That's why I'm here today. I appreciate you were actually checking in with him yesterday when I had a session. And yes, he's a huge support, and I know we're going to be able to get some great things done. Patience is not my forte, but he's helping me stay on track.
Well, good luck to you. God bless you.
Thank you. You
All
too.
right.
Steve, I'm always looking for tax write-offs, so when you get that information, forward it on to me.
I'll be glad to, Kenny. I'll make a note of that right here with the signage. How about that, Melanie? May have already picked up a sponsor for you.
Thank you so much.
All right. That's Kenny that was saying that. If you wanted to send him a chat message on, you can send a message directly to him as well.
All right. Thank you.
Hello, Veronica. How are you this afternoon? Don't have your mic on yet. Tracy, do you have anything to add?
Hello, hi, can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Okay, great. No, I think this is a very good class. I mean, I have to say I'm excited about tomorrow because of this class, because I'm rebranding I used to do construction work for the past 15 years, and I'm getting a little too old for it. So I've had to change from doing the actual construction work to being the project manager of residential renovations. So I've started the brand P-Hammer, and it's been picking up, and I have to rebrand myself, and I didn't know how to do it correctly, or rather I need to have a bit more insight in this class. We touched on a bunch of questions I had. Thank you.
Well, look forward to working for you. Just stay in touch and join as many webinars as you'd like.
Thank you.
Mr. Hannibal, you'd like to close it out with any words of wisdom?
Well, I would like to say, folks, once again, Steve has been on the money, pun intended. There is cash flow is such a, they call it cash flow because it's kind of like the ocean. I mean, you look there and the sand is all dry and everything, and there's nothing there, and then a wave comes in, and as it starts to receive, all sorts of things jump up out of the sand, and you're getting your clams and your mussels and stuff right there, little fish right there by the shore that you can use for bait. So it's the same way with cash. You got to be at the right place at the right time and be available to receive it. Your number one job as a business owner is to convince other people to put their money in your pocket. That's your job.
Amen.
It's a great job to have because we're all trained from the time we're babies to be customers and consumers and clients and to hand our money over and say thank you very much and put a smile on our face. Well, we want to flip that switch. We know how to do that very well. So let's convince our customers and our clients to do that for us. And pay attention to your money. You have to pay attention to it. I have so many clients who really have no idea about, just basic cash flow. It's nothing but a budget, folks. It's nothing but a bank account. Think of your business as a bank account. It's got money that you put in it, and you can't spend more than you have. Steve, I really, really appreciate you and how you reach out individually to you clients. Those of you that have reached out to him already, and I see Barbara there, and of course, we've got, like my basket case. My favorite, she doesn't do baskets, but I think she might be thinking about doing some baskets. Janice, I love you, and y'all are always on point. You seem to zero in on opportunities, and Steve offers a wealth of opportunities. He's got so much knowledge and so much expertise and so much experience in the business world. So he knows how to go get it. So follow his lead. Can I ask a question, Steve? How many of the people on here now have joined your academy? Now, I'm not trying to plug Steve's private business, but I'll tell you.
4 that's with us. 5 that's with us now, but we had about 7 altogether today.
Well, I've seen those materials, and they're extremely powerful. And I'm going to say this right now. I don't know if I'm out of line, but I might be trying to request that Steve do some one-on-one consulting for me with my clients. So if you're one of my clients, I don't know, if you think that might be something you might be interested in, let me know. And, then I'll have something I can go to Steve and say, can you help us out?
Sounds good to me.
All of you, please respond to the evaluation that I send you after this session. It helps me determine what we're going to come back with, what you're interested in, what you need and what you don't need, what you like and what you don't like. Steve, thank you. I'll be looking for a report from you so I can send some paperwork to you, and you can send it back to me, and we can get the ball rolling.
Right now, if before we turn them loose, anybody, if you haven't put your email address in, do that. So I'll be glad to send you a video recording of the day's session. And with that recording, you'll be able to stop it anywhere you like and make notes and use those slides. There's no charge for it. We're just glad to help you any way we can.
That's a big treat, folks. One more thing. Don't forget, if you like Steve, and I know you do, he's coming back on March 14th with taxes and record keeping for small business. So sign up and don't miss out.
10-4. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. God bless you and have a great week. And you certainly can join us tomorrow night and Thursday night.
Amen. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Y'all take care.
Bye now.